Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, and salute all you other Akim out there preaching his word to the four corners in truth and sincerity. All right.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 2. Grace unto you and peace from the Most High, our Father.
Shalom to the elect, man.
As it is met, because that your faith groweth exceedingly in the charity of every one of you all towards each other abounded. Each other abounded. Like it.
So like, just read it one more time.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got, wicked, hey, every week, man.
It's a new demon.
It's a new demon out here, right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 3. We are bound to thank the Most High always for you, brethren.
Right. He said we're bound always towards the brethren, man.
God.
Because this is our labor, right? When you come into this thing, you make yourself a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
God.
All right? That way, we may minister to the brotherhood, man.
As it met, because that your faith growth exceedingly.
And our faith grows exceedingly every day, man. You growing in this truth.
And the charity of every one of you all towards each other abounded.
Right, and that our charity abounds, man. Because hey, that's the thing, if you're not growing in this truth day by day, if the Lord ain't increasing you constantly in this thing, hey man, you stagnant. Something that the elect are supposed to do is constantly abound and grow in this truth. Continue.
So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of the Most High for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure.
Right, for all our tribulations and persecutions that we endure. All right? Because that's the thing that comes with this truth. When brothers come into this knowledge of the truth, man, they think, hey, everything's supposed to be an easy slate from there on out. That all you got to do, is pray to the Lord before you go to bed, and that's it. No. Hey, this truth, it comes with persecutions, man, and trials and tribulations that you must overcome. You got to come and battle the demons, man. You got to face persecution. You see, all these things come with the faith, man.
And you see, hey, that's that we always say that lead up, man. Cause we got a demon on the corner that we got to talk over, and hopefully you brothers and you sisters can be able to be edified. But
go ahead, brother. Salakia. But the thing is, you see the demon. Notice the demon come out as soon as we start wanting to record. So we gotta be twice as loud as him. Hey, go ahead, man. That's just the spirit. That's how the spirit moves, man.
God. This is Acts chapter 14, verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples.
And that's what we do, man. We confirm the souls of the disciples, man. All right? That's what they was talking about in 2 Thessalonians. That we come out here and edify the people and confirm the souls of the disciples, man. That what?
And exhorting them to continue in the faith.
And exhort them to continue in the faith. Because there's going to be shortcomings, man. There's going to be obstacles that you have to overcome, move around. Things you got to dodge, man. Things that you got to tread down. You see what I'm saying? This is all part of it. That you continue and you don't just drop it and quit, man. You go on your way.
And that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
And we must through great tribulation, man. It's not an easy path. Okay? What's that, 2 Ezra chapter 7? It's not an easy path, man. You got fire on the right hand and water on the left. Vice versa, right? You always got to worry about getting drowned or getting tossed into the fire, man.
Come.
It's not an easy thing, so through much tribulation, we have to go through this to enter into the kingdom of heaven, man.
It's always crazy, man. Hey, the devil always, that's why you know the devil, man, he watches you, man. Because it wasn't until 4 weeks ago we started here in this spot. And you see these demons start to approach. You start to see them come. Last week it was some, you know? And we know we're in an area like this, but also we know that they're right beside us, man.
Okay, I gotta appreciate it.
Yeah.
That whole nut shit,
This is
I turn around, look.
this is Luke
Overseas, whole nut.
chapter 11, verse 24. When an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places.
God.
This is a dry place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Overseas.
And spiritually, because there's people all through here. But spiritually, this place is dry until, you know, the word comes out over here. It says, and finding none, he said, I will return to my house once I came out. And when he cometh, he findeth swept and garnished. Then goeth and taketh to him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. You know, so as soon as we leave, they're like, and they gone. You see, the demons see that we left, and then now what? It's always a new demon every week. Just as loud, just as unruly as the last, man. You know? So these are trials and tribulations we also got to overcome, man. The Lord, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no accident. You know, that man's goings is of the Lord. We here at this exact moment for this exact reason. You know? And you can tell that it's getting riled up, man. So back to the Acts, my man.
Yeah. This is Acts chapter 14, verse 23. And when they had ordained them elders in every church and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed. And after they had passed throughout Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia. And when they had preached the word in Pergamum, they went down to Attalia.
Right. And that's the thing, man. They went city to city, man.
City to city.
They was constantly moving, doing the work, man, because hey, this truth and this gospel has to be spread. You know, that was done in that dispensation that, you know, and the elders, they put in, you know, they put in that work, man. You know, they went through, churches was established in every city, man. Now the truth is all over the place. You would never, you know what I'm saying, think, hey, that, you know, this street right here, Elm Street, would have the prophets on it. You would never think downtown Nashville had the prophets on it. This country music city. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the word must go forth to the four corners. Why though? Because for the confirming of the souls, man, of the disciples. Same way we didn't come out here as a brother looking for the truth. He believed in Yahweh Shai, but what? He didn't know where to go. This is why we're out here in these spots.
Verse 26, and thence sailed to Antioch, from which they had been recommended to the grace of the Most High for the work which they fulfilled. And when they were come and had gathered the church together, they rehearsed all the Most High had done with them, and how he had opened the door of faith unto the Gentiles.
Right, and to those of us that was still in that Gentile state of mind, man. And that's what we come out here and do. We try to wake our people up from this pollution that Babylon the Great has put upon them, man. You know, we come out here to get our people up out of that mind state, man. Because you see that Babylon has destroyed our people.
That's right.
Okay? Because before that, hey, we was the righteous city. We was known as the children of God. Yasharallah, man. The Prince Powers with the Most High. But then when we started to fall away from the Lord and go into these Gentile mind states, our people's spirits and their souls got polluted, man.
God.
To where now they're sour grapes, man. They're vessels unto dishonor. But, you know, that's why we come out, man, is to wake our people up. Just the same as they did in those days. To get you up out of that mind state and to refresh you, renew you. See?
This is Acts chapter 14, verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples is exhorting them to continue in the faith. And that, like, I read from the top again, Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. And that we must, through much tribulations, enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
And that we, through much tribulation, have to enter into the kingdom of the Most High, man. Going out, doing those labors, doing those works. That's part of that tribulation, man. Because, hey, we could sit in the house and be chilling today.
Huh.
We could be watching TV, you know, sipping on some yayan, man, on some wine. But no, hey, we got to get up. No matter how sleepy you might have been, you know, no matter how much you wanted to kick it in the crib, no, you got to come out and do this work. You got to do the labors, man.
Huh.
Because that's what the Lord appointed of the prophets, man. And through that tribulation and things that are to come as well. You know, you mind grabbing, let's go ahead and go to Sirach chapter 2.
Go ahead and talk. Hey. Demons, man.
Yeah, man. But now you know that's the point, man. You know, that thing right there. Hey, that was a trial and tribulation we had to go through, man. Because he was out here earlier, quiet. As soon as we turn on the camera, he back over the Bible. Now he want to start yelling up and down the street, man.
You know, that's how I made him leave, man.
Right.
You know, because the Lord want His word to be heard. It can't be heard over a demon. Next, Sirach 22.
Yeah, Sirach chapter 2. Sirach chapter 2.
Oh, Sirach, yeah. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy souls for temptation.
Right. Prepare your soul for temptation if you come to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's not an easy ordeal.
Huh.
All right? When you come into this, you got to understand that you got to go through the fire. Okay? Before you come into this truth, you silver, dross, you know, gold, you all these things mixed up, and the Lord got to melt you down. But there's a process to it, man. You know, just because you get melted down, does that mean that you're done? No, now he got to form you into something. And that's all part of what going through that fire. That's the initial phase, man.
Huh. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
And then the instruction he said is set your heart aright. Meaning what? Your mind has to be prepared.
Huh.
You can't just be out here thinking everything's sweet and dandy, man. You got to know what you're going into. When you go into a job interview, well, you're not just going to go apply for any job and just come in there not knowing nothing about the company.
That's right.
Right? That's the same thing with the truth, man. You got to know what you're coming into. Otherwise, and you be in the world, Salaki. In the world, I used to wear, you know, real nice fancy shoes, man. And I went to this job one time, and dude looked at me. He was like, "You ready to work here?"
Yeah.
Because I had a dress shirt on and all that. He was like, "You ready to work here?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You sure?" He looked at me up and down.
Yeah.
Taking my shoes out. I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." Because, you know, I just want to look fly and shit. You know? But the thing was, he knew what I didn't know. Is that I didn't know what I was going to that job for.
Huh.
You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing. That's why we're supposed to set our heart aright, man. And get your mind straight.
that goes back with many are called, few are chosen. You know, a lot of men come, like you said, a lot of men come in and do what? They don't know what they come into. You know, I was like that at first. I was like, man, what is this? You know? But it's that endurance. That's that fight. That's that, like the brother said, that molding, man. As brothers always say, they were saying about gold. Brothers like to bring this video out of this girl. She's like, the dude who was creating the gold, he was touring with the gold left and right and getting the gold right. And the girl was asking, how do you know when it's finished? And the man said, when he can see his face in the gold, man. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to figure out that the Lord is molding us to get us to that pureness, man. That pure gold, so that we can see ourselves, hey, like Revelation, man. Being able to walk what? Through the kingdom of heaven. With what? Gold roads, man. It's paved with gold.
So like, this is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 18, and it reads, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. Woo! This is he which received the seed by the wayside. You know, that could happen, could have manifested dude right there. Yep. Somebody could have been wanting to hear it, but what? It was stole away because, hey, that demon out here acting belligerent, man. You know, and it take your attention away from what we bringing out. Those are they that hear the word by the wayside. All these people that's out here, you know, not really paying attention. There's always something that's grabbing their mind and pulling it away from this, man.
That's right.
In verse 20 it says, Matthew chapter 13 and Matthew 13 and 20, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word and anon with joy receive it. Okay, and one thing that stands out is the stony place, right? Because the Lord can give you a what? A stony heart. Because what's that soil, man? Is your mind. You see, some people got good soil. Some people's minds have been hardened. You know, and some people's mind, as they'll go into, has been filled with thorns.
Yeah, that's the mystery of the kingdom.
What you talking about?
No, I'm saying that. You read chapter 13, right?
Yeah, chapter 13.
Yeah. That's the mysteries, man. You know? Go ahead, brother. It's like,
yeah, Matthew 13 and 20, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receive it. And that's the thing, hey, they do receive it, man. But the Lord still hardened their heart, you know, because they not all the way there. What did it say in Sirach? One more time.
Sirach, chapter 2, verses 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright.
See, their heart isn't set aright. That's why they may receive the word, right, but they mind ain't right. And that's why they receive it with joy for that moment. Right?
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
And he said, constantly endure those things. Because though they receive that seed, they receive the word, they're not able to endure. They're not able to go through that fire and be tried. And that's why right back here to Matthew it says, verse 21, yet hath he not root in himself, but endureth for a while. You see that? Because they mind ain't, you not ready, man. You see what I'm saying? You not ready. You think that this thing is supposed to be an easy cakewalk, man. And you don't know that you got hell coming towards you, man. You got demons now that's trying to knock you about this truth. All your heart's desires now is going to come at you at once. Like, damn, where that come from? And you not even understanding, you not prepared, and you fall away into that. Next thing you know, man, you better off not even knowing the truth. See?
And that's what I always do, like that walk. That, like your brother said, what's that, Sirach 7? You know, that walk between second edge, second edge of 7. You know, that walk between the water and the fire. It's a straight path, man. It's hard. And that's how it is on every day when you walk this life. You know, when you look at something and you know you ain't supposed to look at it. You know, you gotta always be asking for forgiveness to the Lord. Or like the brother said, every time you turn around, there's always, demons around you. Just like we just had one. And the Lord took him away.
This is Shalamah, chapter 23, and this goes into setting your heart aright, man. How do you do that? Shalamah, chapter 23, in verse 1. O Yahweh, Father and Governor of all my whole life, lead me not to their counsels, and let me not fall by them. You see that? And that was a prayer that you got to throw up, man. That's how you do it, because you got to, the hedge must be set around you, man. You got to ask the Lord to send them angels to strengthen you, you know? It says, and let me not fall by them. Meaning what? That man already in a mind state of, I know that there's these temptations and evils out here, but deliver me from those things, man. Verse 2, who will set scourges over my thoughts and the discipline of wisdom over my heart, that they spare me not for my ignorances, and it pass not by my sins. So you got to ask the Lord to set them scourges over you, man.
Scourges, man.
Anytime you see, but that happens, why? Asking the Lord to place his righteous judgments upon you, man. If I go off, Lord, correct me. So the next time, you know what I'm saying, you may go and try to, some brothers might have a problem with adultery. Next time you go and try and mess with old girl from your past, you know that she married, you know that you're not put to death, man. Because you understand now the judgments of the Lord, that's a scourge, you know, over your heart, man. Because as soon as she called you, it's like, hey, I gotta hang up the phone because the Lord gonna kill my ass.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't steal because now you understand the judgments of the Lord. That's how you set your mind right, man, and constantly endure. Well, that constantly endure comes. You get your mind right, so when the temptations come, and you might have hung up the first time. You might have hung up the first time, but then she call again twice, maybe 3 times, man. What you gonna do, man? You gonna fold, or you gonna stay in the faith, man?
See, I got a quick precept. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, and I start with chapter 2, verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, they saying, commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Verse 3, thou therefore endure hardness,
right,
as a good soldier of Yahweh HaMashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Like he doesn't entangle himself, right? Because the next verse, it talks about the man that receives seed among the thorns. When you get caught up, you know what I'm saying? You get caught up in the thorns. You get entangled with those things, with the cares of this world, man. You know? So you must endure hardness so you don't be a damn fool and jump into a bush, man. Woo. And now you know what I'm saying, all cut up and you stuck in that thing.
It says, verse 4, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him. Shalamah. Hey, brothers knowing who we are, man. That he may please him. It's like, I'm going to read from the top. No man that warreth entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. And that goes back to chose, man. Hey, Brother Sean, get John 15 to 16. I'm going to read it again. It said that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. brother's gonna get this out right quick.
God, this is John chapter 15 and verse 16. Ye have not chosen me.
So the Most High said, you have not chosen me,
but I have chosen you.
But I have chosen you.
And ordained you that you shall go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain.
So you was ordained, if the brother who's out here doing preaching and teaching this truth to the 100% of the doctrine, you was ordained to do what?
To bring forth fruit.
To bring forth fruit.
And that your fruit shall remain.
That your fruit shall remain.
That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give you.
So he just said, whatever you ask in the name of his Father, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, do what?
That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you.
He may give it to you. And what did the brothers say a while ago about the hedge?
Right.
You know, you got to be able to be praying to the Lord to separate you from what? This life.
Right.
You know? And that's what he said. You was chosen. The Lord, hey, the one who come in here and preach this truth week in, week out, day in, day out, what are they doing? They separate themselves from this life. Why? Because the Lord has ordained them from the beginning of the earth. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully?
That's right. You know, and those masters like trophies, man.
Yep.
You know, hey, MJ, you know, he used to train, you know what I'm saying, all day, and he used to go hit the court. But you got to do these things lawfully, man. You can't be out here cheating, cutting corners. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, I'm a just delve in this wickedness a little bit and then put one foot in the truth. No, man, you can't do that. You have to do all things lawfully, man. That way, in the course of the way that the Lord wants you to do it, not the way that your heart wants you to, man. Because your heart constantly is seeking out evil, man.
The husbandman that laboreth must be first partakers of the fruit. And we just talking about the fruit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the Most High always make sure, man, it's just the spirit, man. It says again, the husbandman that laboreth must be first partakers of the fruit. Consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things, man. Hey, when we do these sit downs, or we come out here, the Lord give us that understanding, man. That fruit. You was already ordained. We just read out of John 15 and 16. Ordained. It's like 2 Timothy chapter 2, when you talk about you have to endure, you know, these things, man. And then you got to take on and add these fruits to it, man. Verse 8, remember that Yahushua HaMashiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my gospel, wherein I suffered trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of the Most High is not bound.
That's right. And he suffers trouble as an evildoer, man. Because we coming out here, we really trying to, you know, gather the elect, man. Speak against the wickedness that goes on out here. And people treat the men of the Lord as evildoers. Like, we doing something wrong against you, man. Did we tell you to put the damn blunt down? Did we tell you to put the cigarette down and stop laying in your filth, man? You see, we are treated as evildoers for those things, even so much that he was put in bonds. Woo. Okay? You know that you're getting under their skin if they got to arrest you for preaching the word. You see? But he said what? Though he was in bonds,
wherein I suffered trouble and as an evildoer, even unto bonds.
And that's the thing. Who goes to jail, man? Who gets bonded? Those who do evil, man. You see, because you're breaking the law, right? they get thrown in jail, but he just out here pushing the word, same as we do.
Good. Wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds, but the word of the Most High is not bound.
See, but though he was bonded, the words of the Most High are not bonded. Meaning, even if you was a killer, even if you was to throw us in jail, this word already done went out, man. The mission's already completed. You see, because the words of the Lord are going to go forth anyways.
That's right.
And there's nothing that you can do to stop this.
Therefore I endure. Therefore I endure. 3 times. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake.
And we do all these things for the sake of the elect, man. Those that was chosen of the Heavenly Father. Not for us, man. You see? Because you make yourself a servant unto those that need that help, man. You see? And we do all things for the elect's sake, that they may be saved, man.
Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushua with eternal glory.
Right.
And basically that's what we was talking about last week, that eternal glory. Things that you cannot see, things that are not attainable, because just wherever you are right now doesn't mean when you get to the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be there.
That's right.
The things that you see, the people that you see on these corners struggling, are people struggling. But we don't see, those are temporal things, man.
That's right.
Because when the eternal things are going to be the things of the heavens, man.
That's right.
That's why we preach and teach our people. Even though they're in a bad state, we still tell them it's going to be better. That the light is going to shine at the end of the tunnel, man.
That's right. Yeah, so they ain't got me out here selling pussy and shit, man. We've been out here 4 weeks. I done seen 2 prostitutes out here for the first time, man. Shit crazy, man.
It's crazy.
And they do that because they think that this world is all that there is. They, like you said, they don't understand that these things are temporal. It's only for the moment. But those of us who have been awakened to this truth, okay? You got a job, man. It's to come out and labor for our people. For their sake, man. For the elect's sake, that those that the Heavenly Father has chosen out of all this could come out of it, man, and be delivered. And you must endure afflictions, trials, and tribulations to be able to do that, man. You know?
Matter of fact, I was just in the project the other day, and my job had me to, deliver. So when I was in the project, I was seeing Jake smoking a cigarette, Black and Mild or whatever he was smoking, maybe a blunt, with the phone in his hand, bobbing and all that. Gone, man. He doesn't have that wisdom. And even when if I go up there and tell him that, he ain't gonna want to hear it. Because I do that all the time. Because my job, I could be able to go around the cities and, tell people who they are. And the Lord always give me the spirit to do it.
Appreciate on that. This is John chapter 17 and verse 6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Woo. You see? And that's why some of them just can't receive it. It's because this treasure, man, this is what this is. It's a treasure.
Gold.
This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is fine, is more precious than fine gold. You see? And it's not made manifest to everyone. I say this a lot, man, but you go dig up, I could go around here and dig up dirt anywhere. Okay? The reason why dirt isn't worth any value is because you can find it under every single rock. But gold can't be found everywhere. You see? Pertaining to the elect and pertaining to this word. Because not everybody is going to receive it. Not everybody is going to get the knowledge of the kingdom of heaven. You see? So it says, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, that thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. And that keeping of it, man, goes back into that setting your heart aright and constantly enduring. Because a lot of men, you can stumble upon it, look at it, not understand the value, and throw it away. Or say, nah, there's too much that come with it, man. I don't want that responsibility. But the elect, they shall keep his word, man.
Yeah, I got a quick precept. This is Psalms 37, verse 34. It says, wait on the Lord Yahweh and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. And that's Esau, man. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not, yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold, the upright, for the end of the man, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. So that, us being in this world, man, all these things that Esau and all these heathen nations, they're going to be cut off, man. They're going to be cut off in the days of, when the Most High come and open up the clouds. Today's a beautiful day. The clouds are beautiful today. The Esau haven't sprayed his chemtrails in the air, man. The sun is out. Shamash in Hebrew. The sun is out, man. Call all y'all by Shemi Awashai. Because we always give all praises to Yahweh by Shemi Awashai, but Shamash is just the sun, man, in Hebrews. But as we were saying, like I was saying, the things of this world, man, is temporal, man. It's temporal. So the things that if you believe in what Esau has given you for a temporal thing, you're gonna be destroyed.
Go back to Matthew chapter 13. It says, right, Matthew 13. But he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word and Anan with joy receive it, yet hath he not root in himself, but endureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. So they get it, right? And as soon as them trials and tribulations come up, man, as soon as you start catching some type of hell, now you offended. Because you say, dang, I thought when I came in to praying to the Lord and all this stuff, it's supposed to be an easy walk. You see, you thought that now you was gonna get blessed, because that's what the Christian pastors come out here and teach, man. That now all of a sudden your life is gonna be peaches and cream, and that you're gonna live in the skybox. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what comes with this. And they get offended because it takes a certain type of man to be able to endure these things. You have to be made that way. You got to be cut from a certain type of cloth to be able to abide in the truth, man. Everybody in society is feeble, right? They weak-minded, effeminate, soft. No, when you come into this, man, the Lord, he turns you into a soldier, man. He chose you to be a soldier. And you must, what did it say one more time? Enduring hardness. You see? You got to learn to, when they go to boot camp and they yelling all in your face, you got to crawl through the dirt and through the mud. Go under the barbed wire. Explosions is going off around you, man. To do what? To train you for the battlefield, man. That's what the Lord does. Right? And it says, right, by and by he is offended. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. That's part of that affliction that you must endure, man. Because as soon as, when you come into this thing, if Satan can't kill you, if he can't, what's the phrase, man? If you can't beat him, join him.
Join him, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he'll be like, yeah, all right, let's try to get him on our team, man. See what happens if we throw him this opportunity. Some brothers might hit the lottery, and next thing you know, they out the truth. Not understanding that's the snare that was sent to take you out, man. You know, all these things you got to be circumspect and mindful of them, man. Your mind must be set aright. And it says, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that receiveth the seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30.
God.
We'll break it down.
Yeah, so you know the Lord give each and every man a certain talent. You got the heads, you know, what we always say, a great millstone, and apostles and the elders, and it goes down. And each one of those brothers have a certain talent that they bring out. That's why when you're able to have a sit down and hear those great men, we're about to bring that out, great men. You're going to get Sirach 44:1. But those men, you start to see become great through the talents the Most High gave them. You know, because that's what the talents parable is, with the pounds and with the talents. Why? Because the talents, when the Lord gave the man, let me go back. When the Lord gave the man the pounds, the Lord was, you know, he was hot, man. Yeah. He was broke because that one with the 1 pound didn't do what he was supposed to do.
That's right.
And he knew the Lord was an austere man. Right. You know, but when you're in His truth, you're supposed to take the pounds and the talents and flip them. But basically what he was saying, what was it, 60?
Some 60, some 100-fold.
Yeah, some 100-fold, yeah. Some 60, and some 30. Right. So each brother has a portion of talents that they have to use. That's right. My brothers Maccabees was just talking about, you know, he can't sleep. He can't sleep because his lot is heavy. So he sleep an hour, up an hour, sleep an hour, up an hour, because he's constantly, you know, that goes back to what Jeremiah 20:9. The Lord's spirit in your bones, fire up in your bones, man. You can't quit. You just constantly going and going and going. And the men who teach His truth day in and day out, man, that's what the Most High have the spirit to do, man. Yeah. It's a beautiful spirit to have when you see a brother go teach His truth day in and day out on each subject. If they're not teaching, they rebuking. If they're not rebuking, they teaching. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of the same, but I'm saying, like, you're constantly growing on something. Right. Taking you back to the things of the Levitical laws, man. Something that's small. Hey, people think that's small. But that's heavy. A lot of people don't even know about the laws, man. Because they've been drilled all their life that the law is done away with. The law ain't done away with, man. We're just in a grace period right now. So the Most High is giving us that grace to what? Relearn, remembrance. To remember. Bring you back to that state, man. Oh, you got some more?
Like, I'll go back to Sirach. Like you said, you know, it also goes back to that being fruitful, man. You know, increasing in your knowledge every day. Right back to Second Thessalonians, man. That's how you confirm the souls of the disciples, man, is that they abound in the faith. God. That they continue to grow in this thing. Some 30, you know what I'm saying, some 100-fold, but you know, like the thing with a tree is what happens, man. A tree has to be, you gotta take off, you know, the fruits so that more fruit could come back on there.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That brothers is increasing, because Yahweh Shai, he come around and you ain't got no fruit. Woo! Hey man, what you doing? You taking up space. You know, another brother could take the spot, man. Somebody just as, you know, the Lord can raise up somebody just as young, just as wise as you. You know what I'm saying? Like He did with David and Saul. You see? He can raise up somebody just as wise, just as young as you. Like David and Saul. Because what, man? Like, you playing with the Lord. You're not doing the things that He's requiring of you. You know, the thing about Saul, what happened? He wanted to do things things partially with the Lord. He had a lot of partiality. Because the Lord said, if you go into this place, kill and slaughter everybody.
Right.
Right? But when he went in there, he was like, nah, I'm going to take this and I'm going to take that. And then we're going to offer up some sacrifices to the Lord. And then when the prophet came to him, he was like, man, didn't you know that obeying the Lord is better than sacrifice? Because he wanted you to do what he said to do. You see? And that's you becoming unfruitful, man. You're not coming up to par. You're not measuring up to that stature that the Lord wants you to be.
God.
You see?
Matter of fact, what did the Lord do to the fig tree?
He cursed it.
Cursed it. Took it away. Because there was no figs. There was no fruit.
Because though it grew, we're going to swing all the way back around, though it grew into a tree, the seed was planted, the roots started taking hold, and it grew throughout the seasons. It endured, the winter. It endured the heat of the sun and the wind and the storms. And it became a tree that brought forth fruits. But he came back around, he's like, yo, ain't no fruit on here no more. Why? Because now it becomes unfruitful, man. You start falling back into the world, you start going back to your folly, and now, the Lord ain't supping with you like that no more. You see? And every once in a while, Yahweh Shai, he'll come and vouch for you. If you really falling out, he'll come vouch. He say, I'm going to dig about it and dung it. Meaning what he's going to give you an increase in the spirit. Okay? And if you don't do anything with that increase that he gives you, now you out. And he's going to cut you. You know what I'm saying? He's going to chop you down. The axe shall be laid to the root, and you up out of here, man. Why? Because you didn't endure it. So, back in Sirach, chapter 2, it says, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away. You see? That goes right back to it, man. You got to constantly hold on to the Lord. No matter what's going on, man, you got to be able to still hold on to the garments of the Lord, man. Make sure that you could, stay in this thing. So like, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And that's what we just talked about. Yahweh Shai will increase you, man. You hold on. You see, every time you may feel like you being weak, hey, hold on to that, and the Lord is going to increase you. You got anything on that? Right?
No.
I can go on that. All right, verse 4 it says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay? Going back to it, man. Hey, you get melted down. Alright? The first time you get melted down is all the dross and everything gone. No, man. You gotta keep on purifying. How many times? 7. You see? You gotta get purified a complete number of times, man. Just before you make it to gold. Alright? And in the temple, matter of fact, it talks about, the scriptures talk about in the house of God, there'll be vessels, some made unto honor and good works, and others unto dishonor. Okay? Now when you look at a piece of gold, you get a nugget. Well, what happens, man, when the Lord wanted to make a menorah? You see? That take a lot of gold, man. That take a lot of purging. You see what I'm saying? When he wanted to build the inner courts and lay it with all that gold, it took a lot of purging, man. And you gotta be, just because you purge, that don't mean that you're done. You still gotta be shaped. You see? Because Salakia, I don't want to be long-winded on it, but the thing is, when you making gold, man, you gotta understand that they'll shape it into a block, for example. And when they make it into a block, you gotta take your hammer and you gotta, bash it in place. Why? Because it got grooves here and grooves over there, man. And he wants you to be a flat piece of what? Boom. He knock you into place, man. Every time you go off, Every time your mind starts to depart from the Lord and he set them scourges over you, you know, he bangs that goal into place, man. That's part of that fire and that trial that you may be accepted of the Lord. You know, some of us got art. They be like, I don't really like this one like that. You throw it away. You might draw a picture. It ain't what I need, man. And you throw it away. You're not accepted of the Lord. But some men, like you said, it says for gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. And you have to be tried through that adversity to be accepted of Yahweh Shanel.
What was that? What we did on the sit down, that Ecclesiastes 10:10, when you talking about the beating down on the sword?
The iron.
Precept, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 10. Matter of fact, I go to 9. Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therein, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered thereby. Verse 10, if the iron be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct.
It's a lot. I didn't mean to talk about that. But you know, the sword, right? The iron, if it be blunt, you got to use more power, man. Okay, the Lord is shaping you up to be an instrument, man. Okay, an instrument of His power, of war, man. You know, this is a scripture that said Isaiah 49. Matter of fact, Bible Bishop. Isaiah 49, because it says that the iron be blunt, you got to use more strength. You're not gonna go into war in the ancient days, and we finna go fight an army, and you give me this dull ass sword, man. What am I gonna do with this? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go out there and get your head chopped off. You gonna try to swing, he gonna slash through you and your sword. Why? Because you not sharp, so the Lord gotta whet the edge, man. He gotta sharpen you, okay? Certain swords, they put it through the fire, they take it out and beat it, and they gotta fold it. Every time they fold it, it comes thicker, and they flatten it out once again. It's thicker every time you dip it in the water. Well, that's you when you in the truth, man. You gotta understand you're that sword. Isaiah 49, verse 2.
This is Isaiah chapter 49, verse 2. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword.
See that? He has made my mouth as a sharp sword. Also going into Yahweh Shai, man.
In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me.
And in the shadow of his hand has he hid me, man. Who was that talking about? The prophets. Because the Lord got to build you into that weapon, man. You going through the heat, he dips you in the water. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't understand. No, you got to go through that fire. You got to go through that tribulation, man. And that's the Lord building you into this sharp sword. Because as I said, you're not going to go into war with a dull sword, man. There's nothing you could do with it. You're going to get yourself killed. So the Lord got to sharpen you, man. That way when you go out, you don't have to use as much energy.
And made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me.
And he made you a pot. You know what I'm saying? That you pull it out. It's real slide. And he cut you with it, man. That's how the Lord uses the prophets. Back to the Ecclesiastes 10:10 Bible show. You're an Israelite, man. You're an Israelite, man.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 10. If the arm be blunt, if the arm be blunt, and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength.
Right. You gotta put more strength, man. Say you fighting a giant dragon. That's what we do. You fighting the dragon, man. You go in there, you poking it.
Yeah.
It ain't even doing nothing, man. No, you gotta have that special sword that when you slay it, you're able to chop the head off in one swoop, in one stroke. And that's what it is, man. When you go through this fire, the Lord is making you his weapon, man. You see, you can't go in there with with that dull sword, and that's you being that weak state of mind. You know, you want to damn hug everybody and stuff like that all the time. No, man. There's a time for all things. That's part of sharpening you up to understand that. Your mind, man. That's where it starts. Matter of fact, can you just grab that real quick so I could, Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Show. You know, just as an example, so they could understand. You being sharpened is giving you the wisdom, because it said wisdom is profitable unto direct, man, to let you know, hey, which way to go in and what not to. This is part of it. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, Baba Kashab. Because when you born into this world, you don't understand that. You know, you think that we all supposed to be together. We all supposed to, you know what I'm saying, hug it out. No, man. Now you don't even know who your enemy is because of that. You don't understand that the Lord is a man of war. Yahweh Shah came to bring division, man. You see? That's wisdom to direct you, man, to become what? Sharper as a weapon.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
And you got to understand that. Sometimes you go through the flame. You know what I'm saying? When you first come into the truth, right? You dross and all this, what's the word I'm looking for, man? You just filled with different materials, man.
Yeah, you need different materials.
Okay? And the first time you go through the flame, you come out like, damn, man, I don't want to go through that shit no more. I'm happy that I'm done.
That's that old man that's trying to get that filth out of me, man. I used to go in that all the time. That old man, shifting the old man off of me, man. Like I said, you constantly bobbing and weaving, man. Constantly bobbing and weaving off that old man. It's kind of like a football player making a juke. You know, he makes a juke. He goes up that way. What is that? That's the iniquities, man. An iniquity, man. Adversity. Yeah. You know, he ducking, man. You know?
Yeah. Nah, you're right. That's what it is, man. That's you as that sword when you, well, that's you just as the materials at first. That's the old man. The Lord got to throw you in the fire and purge you. And you getting burnt, you know what I'm saying? You getting burnt up. You screaming and crying, all of that. And pull you out and dip you in the water. You're like, oh, man, I'm good now. I'm happy I ain't got to go through that again. Not even understanding, that's just the first step. The Lord still see all the impurities in you that you don't, man. And you don't even know what he wants to shape you into. You thought he just wanted to get rid of those things. No, he still got to mold your ass, man. Continue, brother.
Sure. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Right, and then you start to understanding that. That's, you know what I'm saying? You're getting the wrinkles out of it, man. Now you gotta go right back into the fire because you ain't understanding as much the first time. You gotta go back, get it, he pull you out, dip you in the water until you start to understand. Oh shit, hold on, I gotta, hey man, get away from me, man. I can't do that. Now I gotta duck this because I kept on getting hit with that right punch. You know, that way, he's like, all right, we done with that fire process. He's like, all right, cool, I'm set, I'm straight. Nah, you still gotta get the anvil, man. He still got. What's that Sirach? You heard that in Sirach about the anvil, man. Slug, let me grab it. Right, this is Sirach, chapter 38, and verse 28. The smith also sitting by the anvil and considering the ironwork, the vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh. He fighteth with the heat of the furnace. It's the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Going in on you, man. And he considers the iron. He looks at it. It ain't good enough. I see a little curve in it. Bam! That's the Lord working on your mind, man, to make you what? That polished shadow.
That spirit keep hitting you, man. You know? You keep telling, hey, go do that. You don't do it. Hey, we all talk about Jonah, man. You know, we always talk about Jonah trying to go to Nineveh, man. Trying to take an altered direction.
That's right, that's right.
And the Lord bring him back.
That's right.
You know?
Until Jonah got it.
Until he got it.
And then he understood, all right, there is no fighting the Lord. Until Jonah was crying, talking about, I'm in the belly of hell.
Come.
You see? And it says, the noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in its ears. He's constantly working on you, man.
Yeah, run that back again, all right? Run that back again.
The noise of the hammer.
The noise of the hammer.
And the anvil.
And the anvil, man.
Is ever in his ear.
It's ever in his ear. Hey, that's us, man. The men of the Lord. You know, when we get these scriptures, it's forever. You can get cut with the scripture with a two-edged sword. I just read, you just read something and you get ready to go do it. You be like, oh man, that's that hammer.
That's that sword. That's that hammer, man. Beating you back into place.
You back into place, man.
Because you wanna buck up and kick. Yeah. Hey man, guess what? You going back in the fire, man.
Good.
And once you get out, I'ma beat into your mind to straighten you out, and then I'ma cool you down. And if you ain't perfect then, you going right back. Rinse and repeat, man.
Rinse and repeat.
You see? It says, and his eyes look still unto the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work and watcheth to polish it perfectly. Going right back to what we read in Isaiah chapter 49, man. He does all these things that you may become that vessel unto honor that he could use, man. Mm-hmm. If you're not measuring up to the stature that he wants you to be, you're going to be cast away. That's why it talks about certain men will be called, what's that scripture, man? Certain men are going to be called like reprobate silver. You see? Because there's no point in you, man. There's no fixing you. You're done. You know? Long story short. You got anything?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, back to Sirach chapter 2 and verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. And that's what that furnace is. When he puts you in there, man. That's the adversities that you go through. And you got to take those things cheerfully from the Lord, man. You got to understand, no, this is a blessing. This is an opportunity for me to get myself right. Because if the Lord keep on trying to work with you and you not, conforming to his image that he desires, hey, you're going to get cast off, man. You're going to just be in another pile of things that are disregarded, things that are not accepted of the Lord. And that all comes through what? Patience through tribulation. You got anything before I go on? All right. So this is Sirach chapter 2 and 12. It says, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted. Because that's the thing, man. You can't be soft in this thing, man. You can't be always trying to fall out just because some hell that came to you. Because that's the thing about the sword. One more time back to the analogy. When the sword already been purified 6 times, it's already been through the fire. It's not as bad as it was the first time. You see? So now you become hardened. Now you can take it. When you get put in the flame, you're like, nah, I already know. You know what I'm saying? You chilling in the fire like that, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
I was about to say that, yeah.
You chilling in it. Because you already understand this is part of the process. The Lord is taking me through this. And I'm about to get out, and as soon as I get dipped in the water, boom, now you done. Now you got that 7 times of being refined, man. You see, you can't be faint-hearted, and every time you get in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You a weak-ass sword, man. That's why it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will you do when Yahweh shall visit you? So what you going to do in that day, man, when the Lord comes and finds you and you done lost your patience? You done gave up, you done threw away the truth because you couldn't go through the flame. What you going to do in that day when the Lord comes and visits you, man? And he finds you set on your knees, man. You chilling. You're not really producing no fruit. Man, you're gonna get cut down, man. And you're gonna be out of here.
This is Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10. And it reads, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
Right. And if you faint in the day of adversity, man, if you faint in the day that you in that fire, your strength is small. Say that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego ain't believe it, because they said, hey, the Lord want to deliver us, he will. Right? Say that you didn't, man. Hey, you're not going to be defended. They were defended in that day from the flame. That's what the Lord's delivering us. He's going to deliver us from, man. It's that flame that's to come.
Come.
You see? So, that was the point. All right, one more time so I can grab it.
Come. This is Proverbs 24:10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
You want to break it down?
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically what he said, man, that faint. And all of us, man, just like that beating, man. That's why you got to be beaten into that day, so that you won't be small in that day. Because every man coming is true, you always going to be beaten. You always going to be tore down and picked back up. Like he said, beat on it, hammer it, take you out of the water, put you back in the water, beat it. You know, keep that what he said, rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. All of us done been through it. You know? And that's that like the brother was saying earlier, that's that hardening. You know? At first you're gonna finally get it. That first time you might be you know, soft with it. But that continuous hammer against you gonna make you harder. That's why most brothers in this, like we always talk about, we in solitude, we're soldiers. It's not only a physical thing, it's a mental thing. That's those adversities, man. Those impurities that you go through. You gotta fight almost, hey, you go to camp, there might be something before camp that you gotta do, but you gotta get your mind right before you sit in this in the house of the Most High, to get your mind right so you can leave whatever that you had coming to camp off, man. But if you got to play, if you got to put on, you know, some music, you know, the brothers do a lot of lessons with music, you know, teaching about certain things. If you got to put that on to get your mind back right, that's what you got to do. But you got to fight off them iniquities, man. And then once you get through with camp, then you deal with those issues. But when you here, your mind got to be right. You know, each and every one of the brothers got to go through it, man. You want, hey, it's just a time for everything, man. Just like we were talking about in Ecclesiastes 3. You work out these little things little by little. Each time it gets better and better and better. But that first time is going to be bitter. You know? Just like we always talk about with Ezekiel. But John the Revelator, hey, eating that book first was sweet to the mouth. But once you continue to get in this thing, you got to fight these iniquities and you against the world, it becomes bitter. And when it becomes bitter, now that's going to test your what? Your faith, your spirit. And it ain't nothing but the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua with the word and the spirit. But the Lord gonna give you that hedge or pick you up in the spirit. But you gotta listen to the Lord as He builds you up.
So this is Zechariah. Solomon 3:10. This is Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh is my God. You see? So all of that, man, you got to go through that flame. If you're not willing to go through it, man, maybe this thing ain't for you. Maybe you should just go back home, crack open the beer, and, you know, I don't know, man, play online sports betting all day. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you need to do, then do it. You know, but the elect, he said that they shall go through the fire and they shall call on his name, man. They're going to endure those things.
And you do go through those things, man. And that's why your power is always there to call upon. When nobody else is around, you go to the knee, you pray to the Lord. Build me up, O Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. You know, Baba Kasha, sorry, you know, because sometimes you go through something and you need to be built back up. I was talking to my brother the other day. You know, you might be building a brick mailbox, and it's kind of slanted. Well, you're gonna have to beat it down with a sledgehammer, and to do what? Rebuild it brick by brick, and bring it up so that it's straight. So you looking at it apart, but you remember when you was crooked. But when you picking them bricks, brick by brick, it brings it up. You can see it, and you're strengthened through the remake of that mailbox made by brick, man.
That's right.
Brick by brick.
That's right. And you remember, you know, what was your flaws last time, man? You know, now I can't build it that way because last time I did it, and that's where the building started to crumble. That's where the foundation started to not, you know what I'm saying, uphold itself, man.
Yeah.
You know? Greetings.
This is Song of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 10. He made the pillars thereof silver, the bottom thereof of gold, the covering of it of purple, the midst thereof being paved with love.
Right, and that's talking about the kingdom of heaven. For those that have ears to hear, man.
Come.
For those with their understanding. That's speaking about the elect in the kingdom of heaven. Read it back one more time, Baba.
Come, this is Song of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 10. He made the pillars thereof of silver.
Mm-hmm. The pillars of silver. What does it mean, the pillars of silver, man? Greta in Revelation chapter 3, verse 12, Baba. What are these pillars of silver that's being spoken of, man?
This is Revelation 3, verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar.
So like, him that overcometh. What do you got to overcome, man? You see? These things are stuff that you have to meditate on, man.
God.
There's something that must be overcome, man. Okay?
Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power.
Right, and him that has overcame all these obstacles will the Lord make you a pillar within the temple. Is that it?
And he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of God.
Right. See what I'm saying? It's talking about that Song of Solomon chapter 3, verse 10. You go back.
God.
He said, he that overcomes, he shall make a pillar within the temple. Okay? He shall go no more out.
This is Song of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 10. He made the pillars thereof of silver, the bottom thereof gold, a covering of it of purple.
And why is it silver, man? Why is that pillar silver? It's because he was tried, man. Mm-hmm. This is Psalms chapter 66 and verse 10. You might hold this for me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, Psalms chapter 66 and verse 10, and it reads, For thou, O God, hast proved us. Thou hast tried us, as silver is tried. Woo! What was that?
God. This is this is Song of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 10. He had the pillars thereof silver.
Right. Pillars of silver, man. That's those who overcome. Continue.
The bottom thereof gold.
And the bottoms of these pillars are made out of gold. Because as the brother stated earlier, a lot of people overlook the law. Mm-hmm. You don't see that the law is spiritual.
God.
Okay? A brother asked, the beloved brother Awar asked, man, was the law made for the outer man or for the inner man?
God.
You see? And it was made for the inner man. Because the spirit, constantly wants to do what the law says, man.
God.
And there's also an actual spirit to the things that was written in the law. So when you look at the tabernacle in the temple, all of the pillars that sat around the temple on the outer course was pillars of, sockets of brass.
God.
Okay? And on the top of the pillar was sockets of silver. because the inferior metal was always on the bottom, right? And then when you went to the inner courts, the sockets at the bottom were made of gold.
Huh.
But what's on top of gold? You know what I'm saying? What's more precious than gold, man? You see, and that's why this is a deep saying, because the Lord is letting it be known, those that are his chosen are more precious than fine gold.
Huh.
Even the golden wedge of Ophir, for those that got ears, man.
Huh.
Okay?
The bottom thereof, gold, the covering of it of purple.
Right. It's like in the covering of it of purple, man. Meaning what you abide within the holy place. Because the temple, the tabernacle had certain skins over it. You see? And at first, that chief one was the one made of silver, not silver, it's like scarlet, man.
Scarlet.
And purple. You see? So the elect shall be within that temple.
Huh. The midst thereof paid, like the midst thereof being paid with love for the daughter of Jerusalem.
Right, and that's talking about the kingdom of heaven, where it talks about the golden streets that was transparent gold. You see, the elect, man, they are the pillars, man, that was tried as fire, man, or tried through fire and came forth as silver, man. You see?
Let me continue on Revelation 13 and 12. And it said, and it reads, which is new Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from the Most High, and I will write upon him my new name.
Like, I guess we got these last three right here. First Peter chapter 1 and 7. You know, so that's the whole point, man. We got to overcome all these afflictions, man, all these trials, to be what? To be purified as silver is purified. That you may be a temple, a pillar within the temple of the Most High, man. That's what all this comes down to.
This is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold, that perisheth.
Right, and even this gold here perishes, man. Though it's something that, you know, is sought after. It's the chief metal. You see, but even then, that perishes, man. It'll become nothing one day. But your faith being tried is more precious than that. Why? Because it's an everlasting thing.
God. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold, that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahushua HaMashiach, whom having not seen ye love, in whom now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of joy, like and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls.
That's why we go through all that fire, man. Is to try your faith, not your body. You know what I'm saying? Your body goes through it, but your soul is within this vessel that goes through these physical things to see if your faith will withstand it, man. That way you may be found unto what, man? Glory at the return of the Lord. When he comes and finds that you have been tried, man, because he knows who are his.
God,
you know?
Verse 10, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you. That's heavy, man. It says what? Salvation the prophets have inquired, man, to search. And it reads, and search diligently, man. Like like the brother said earlier, how hard is it to search out gold? Search diligently, who prophesies the grace that should come unto you. That's heavy, man. The things that's the spirit that brother was saying. You know? When the Lord coming to you, man. Revelation 3 and 20. Spirit of Mosai says about the door, man. Let's get it real quick. Yes, sir. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me. You know? And that's what you do, man, when the Lord comes unto you, man. That he'll sup with you. That's that faith. That's the spirit. That's the prayers. That's the outcry of Yahweh Shai. Come back and get us. And he says, continue. Verse 21, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches, man. That's that faith, man. That the Most High had to go through it. As we say week in, week out, day in, day out to brothers, hey, the servant is not greater than the master, man. We ain't greater than Yahweh Shai. If Yahweh Shai had to go through it, we got to go through it. There's plenty of time Yahweh Shai fled into the mountains to do what? Speak to the Lord. Sometimes he wept. You know? Sometimes you gotta wept. Sometimes, hey, when you alone, that's the time. So the Lord can come into your door. So that, hey, whatever you lacking, you ask the Lord, he may give it to you. Through the Spirit, through the faith. Why? Because, hey man, this walk is not for the faint-hearted. You know, as one of the elders say, this walk is not for the faint-hearted, man. So when a brother is lacking something, you build him up. And then also on his build-up, his one-on-one time, he needs to go to the Lord and ask for more help through the Spirit. So that he can be ready to come back and be at war with you. Stand beside you at war. And then, you know, it's all good.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and 9. He said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong.
After all those things he was going through, when he is what? Weak, that he will be what? Strong. He's going to be made strong through his weakness, through his tear downs in his mind. He's going to begin to be strong because he's going to have to fight what? Wait, go back and read that again, up in the shop. He's going to have to fight those things. Those adversities, those iniquities.
2 Corinthians 12 and 10. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities.
Infirmities.
In reproaches.
Reproach.
In necessities.
Necessity.
In persecution.
Persecution.
In distresses.
Distresses.
For Hamashiach's sake.
For Hamashiach's sake, man. Those things you're going to have to go through when you, hey, at the low, at your weak, that the weak say I'm strong. Right. Hey, just like the other countries, they was weak. Now they saying they strong. Through your impurities and your infirmities, you was weak, but you became strong. Hey, like we said, brothers, keep pushing, man. You know, those iniquities, those infirmities, don't let nobody steal your crown, man. Keep pushing, man, to the best of your ability. You know? I love your brothers, man, regardless. And keep pushing, man. And we all trying to get that same penny. We're coming at that 11th hour. know, our temptation. We're coming to that time where, you know, we're all chasing the penny, man. And the Lord said He do His money however He want to do it, man. You know, because there's gonna be men that come in, as we spoke of before in the beginning of the account, is bringing that fruit. It might be brothers coming here the last minute. They get the same penny, man. They can't even say nothing, man. Because the Lord do His money how He wants to do it. With that being said, man, we want to say, Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, to the brothers who out here preaching this truth, week in and week out, day in and day out. I will say shalom to you, to the men, women, and children that's coming to this truth in this latter end. I will say shalom. Shalom.